All right, so bands this war are Scorpion, CGR, and Magneto, House of X. All right, so Thing Boss, we've got Wiccan, Tigra, Diablo, Gallon. There are actually quite a few options. Those four just counter Opportunist pretty well. Scorpion, you've got Fury, you've got Mole Man, Rintra, you've got Human Torch and Archangel, Immortal Abomination. You've got Overseer, and you've got Omega Red, Kitty Pryde. You got Omega Sentinel and Nimrod. Arcus, you've got Chavez and Diablo. Warlock, you've got Nebula and Hulkling. And then Bishop, you've got Archangel. You've got Kitty Pryde. You've got War Machine. 1 through 3 on the way out. Absman, you've got Apocalypse and Human Torch. Path 1. Kingpin, you've got Omega Red and Apocalypse. War Machine, you can take with Gallon or Omega Sentinel and just kind of push him to Special 2 and hit into his block as needed. Path 2, Longshot, S99, and Titania. Penny is going to be Gallon, Odin Pre-Fight, or Hulkling. And then Path 3, Omega Sentinel, you've got Nebula, and you've got Corvus, and then for Hulkling, you've got Chavez, Diablo. Well, Chavez, and let's go with Dragon Man, actually. 4 through 6 on the way out, Wong, you've got Titania and Human Torch. On the way in, Mole Man, you've got Omega Red, Apocalypse. I'm sure even Chavez works. Path 4, Mojo, S99, Titania, and then Terrax. You've got Absman. You've also got Diablo. Path 5, Doom, Titania, Human Torch, Mystic Spidey, Titania, Human Torch, stick in the medium or to light attacks. Can also use maybe Ant-Man and stick to Special 2. Path 6, Null, you've got Chavez, you've got Doom. And then for Apocalypse, you've got Omega Sentinel and Nimrod. 7 through 9 on the way out, Gore, Diablo, Chavez. On the way in, Spot, you've got Blade. Jabari Panther should work as well. And then Path 7, Domino, Omega Sentinel, or Nimrod. And then Mordo, you can use Doom, you can use Human Torch. Path 8, you can take the whole thing with Diablo or the whole thing with Chavez. Path 9, Hulkling or Nebula for Nimrod. And then you can still use Nebula, or you can go Ant-Man or S99 for Mangog. One through 3 on the way in, Quicksilver, you've got Gallon and Fury. Nova, you've got Diablo and Chavez. Korg, you've got Omega Red and Apocalypse, Slap On and Odin Pre-Fight. 1 through 3 on the way out, Man-Thing, you've got Omega Red, you've got Mr. Negative, you've got Titania, you've got S99. Path 1, you can take the whole thing with Shang-Chi, or you can use Shang-Chi for Void or another Subdue option, and then use Chavez or Diablo for Sersi, even Dragon Man. Path 2, Titania or S99, and then Path 3, Apocalypse or Omega Red. 4 through 6 on the way out, Chavez, you've got Doom, you've got Quicksilver, you've got Mr. Negative. Path 4, Omega Red, could even use Apocalypse. Path 5, Human Torch in some combination, or Blade with a synergy. And then Path 6, Spam, you've got Fury, you've got Mole Man, plenty of options. 7 through 9, on the way out, Fury, you could use Apocalypse there. Could use Penny as well. Can also use Kitty Pryde. Path 7, Apocalypse or Omega Red for JP, and then Nebula or Apocalypse for Dragon Man. Path 8, Diablo or Chavez for Gallon, and then Path 9, Human Torch or Rolk for Maw, and then Infamous Doom. You can go with Hulkling. Can also probably max Sig Angela it. So that does it for defense. Let's take a look at attack. All right, so War 11 is against the Living Tribunal. Shout out to Taters, Lizer, and everyone else, Oakley, Pert, all the other guys that I know over there at LVT. Today I'm taking in Proxima, Midnight, Shang-Chi, and Nebula. I've got Path 1 in Section 1 and Path 9 in Section 2, and then a mini-boss on Boss Island. So Path 1 here in Section 1, Void first, we're going to use Shang-Chi. He is Subdue, so that takes care of the personal space regen. When we throw a special attack, we'll nullify it. Also, Subdue will prevent it from time to time between special attacks. But really simple here. We're just going to go Cleanse Wushu. And if Void is pretty passive, we're going to go Stun Wushu. And then we're going to find our opening too heavy for a reset. We're not worried about the regen buffs that are showing up, because as I said earlier, once we throw a special attack, they'll get nullified. So Shang-Chi out damaging it anyways. Subdue is up, so none can activate. One got through, but expired as we got some distance. But yeah, this is a pretty simple, straightforward, easy fight. Was not really the fight this war that I was worried about. And it's not a very complex fight at all. So almost done. Last hit should do it. Down he goes from Cleanse Wushu. We move on to the fight I was a little bit worried about, and it's the Sersi here on Masochism on Path 1. And the only reason I'm worried about it is just because of her abilities, glancing, all that jazz. And I thought that I would probably not be able to outdamage the regen if my special 2 kept glancing. So I didn't really have a game plan. There's not really a Wushu that's important here. The important thing to remember is that it is Masochism. So parry stuns, Wushu stuns can all fail or get shrugged. So you can't rely on them unless you're painfully aware of where the timer is. And then she's going to gain a Fury from this node due to her own healing abilities and the regen from Masochism. So Subdue can prevent some of this stuff, but between the glancing and the Masochism, it just makes it really hard to constantly have combos up. I think what I would have done differently with Shang-Chi here was aggressively push to special 2, not actually worry about building any chi charges, and then tried to intercept with a special attack. So there we got a pretty good special without glancing up, took off a huge chunk. And then here it's going to start slowing down. She's going to heal a bunch of this back up, thanks to the heavy attacks triggering the glancing buff. And I start getting pushed in the corner here. Masochism again, kicking in, regen, kicking in. Can't place Subdue, glancing's up. It's down now, she power gains. I was actually full on thinking I was going to push her to special 3 here, and she managed to throw that right off of that combo. So good. Thought I was going to try and nuke her down in her window. And now she's back up well above 50% after being below it. And right here, I'm going to wait for this glancing to fall. And then instead of comboing into it, I'm just going to intercept with the special 2. It's going to take most of her health. We've got a Fate Seal up now. I can go be a bit aggressive. Maybe trigger Masochism. We've got Subdue up. There we go. Masochism triggered, but the regen was prevented. Subdue up there, so I don't have to worry about glancing again. Get an intercept, finish the fight. So would be a lot better with a Mystic Subdue option. We move on to the rest of our war, which is all Nebula, Path 9, Section 2. This Nimrod, Proxima is going to let us start with 10 charges, so it's going to be really easy with a PS1 to get to Special 2 with a few additional charges. Now, downside of this being a robot on this node is that we're not actually going to gain any shock charges from Hazard Shift because we're preventing the ability accuracy. So the only extra shock that I'm going to get is from blocking from time to time. And until we're ready to throw Special 2, I'm not going to parry in this fight. So here I thought I was going to be close enough, which I was. Luckily, that special lock fell right as we were ready to throw Special 2. We double it, and it's done. So one eye open, not even mattering for Nebula. And then this next one is even easier because Mangog's not a robot. So that shock phase of Hazard Shift, we are actually going to gain additional charges. I can actually continuously parry attack up to special 2, and then whatever shocks are there, I can double with special 2 and finish the fight. I still play this a bit safe. I decide not to transfer my shock charges until we are in range to throw special 2. So here we're building shock charges from hitting him, baiting out heavies. He does a full combo there, that's fine. I decided to do short combos and back out so that we don't build hatred. There's the parry into the special 2, double the shocks, and he's gone. Super easy fight. Nebula rocking it all day. And then the last fight of my war is a rank 5 Warlock here on Hazard Shift. I had a game plan. I actually put on, should have mentioned that, recoil for the Nebula fights. So I didn't have it on with Shang-Chi. I have them on for all of her fights. Here, game plan was to go into special 3. And after the special 3, depending on infection and how many shocks we have and where that overcharge buff is or passive is, we would parry and then throw special 2 and not actually rely on the stun with parry, but transfer the shocks and then get a heavy out. You see there we were super aggressive though, just bullying Warlock to his corner, pushing him to special 2 aggressively. I'm not really trying to block bait or stop combos short to get him to go to special 2. I don't mind if he throws a special 1, but I'm going right into a block after a combo so that I hope that he just turtles and decides to fight me instead of throwing his special attack. So there's our special 3. He's a bit passive here trying to get this special 2 out. It's eating a lot of this overcharge up, which is unfortunate because we're missing out on placing a bunch of shocks and getting to special 2 real quick. So I'm kind of feeling out the fight here. We just got to special 1. The overcharge is going to fall. I just got infected right as we get to our special 2 and we bait out his special 2. Kind of make a call. Do I wait out the infection or do I build to another special 3? And I decided let's go ahead and build to another special 3 since he's only at about 40% health. I did not want to risk transferring those shocks and then having to care about Hazard Shift and not getting enough of those doubled with the special 2 and the offensive ability accuracy reduction from infection. So this is safe. I haven't taken a lot of block damage just because I'm being overly aggressive and bullying Warlock here. And here I just decide, hey, let's transfer shocks. So combo here, back up. I'm going to do a well-timed block after this special 1 and transfer all 20, and he's just going to melt away. And there he goes. So that ends my war. So Shang-Chi Nebula war, super smooth, felt really good. Our battle group actually only died once to their 4, so we had a pretty good war for BG versus BG. And then as a whole, we ended up winning this war 8-3. So we showed up, brought deaths down considerably compared to the last war. And this win actually solidified us finishing Masters. So a win would put us in the top 10, but a loss should keep us in Masters. So mission accomplished, one more war. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit subscribe, give it a like, and I will catch you guys at the last war of the season.